our next storyteller, I'm going to turn now to our storytellers. Our next storyteller is an alumni of the Journeys Travel. She has been on one of the Journeys trips, and I'm going to introduce her now. When I asked Joy Wolfe Ensor about a fun fact about herself, this is what she had to share with me. She says, "When I'm not using my words in my work, with my friends and family, in late night games of words with friends, I play the piano and practice Tai Chi." That sounds great, doesn't it? These are all the questions that we asked our storytellers that wouldn't normally show up in their bios. We also asked Joy about a favorite moment of travel for her. So she says that moment of travel was with her husband, visiting my parents' childhood home in Krakow, Poland, where they had lived and prospered since the late 1400s. So they must be very old. The stones and mortar shimmered with family history. Please join me in welcoming to the stage our first storyteller tonight, Joy Wolfe Ensor.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you, Joy.
Okay. So it is deep winter in Ann Arbor, but I'm not here at home. I'm in a sun-dappled arbor in Guatemala on the shore of Lake Atitlan. Ordinarily, the sights and sounds and smells would make me want to shout out, but I don't. It's the end of a week-long mindfulness meditation retreat, and I'm in the middle of a full day of silence. In this moment, we're sitting with loving kindness. May I be safe. May I be strong. May I be happy. May I live with ease. Now, silently focusing on safety and ease in the present moment is not the soup I was cooked in. And it's not just because I come from a line of champion talkers, it's also that worrying is what we do best. And this moment tugs against a lifetime of training in watching out for danger. Now, my immigrant parents wanted more than anything for me to be a happy little Yankee. They named me Joy, for crying out loud. But I couldn't turn a corner in our apartment without hearing, "Be careful." And if I was 5 minutes late coming home, I would find my mother in a panic. My parents were at ease only when I was in their sight, or as they put it, out of danger. To be fair, my parents came by their fears honestly. They'd been caught up in the whirlwind of World War II, and they suffered some terrible losses. After the war, they came here and did all they could to become real Americans, and in most ways, they really succeeded. But my father still cried out from nightmares, and my mother tucked a wooden leg under her bed at night, the legacy of her encounter with an enemy tank. Our mantra was never forget, because the risk of forgetting was that it could all happen again. Vigilance was our watchword. And yet, here I sit in Guatemala, practicing mindfulness, paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, non-judgmentally. In the present moment, non-judgmentally, I didn't do that. My people didn't do that. There could be serious bad guys lurking around the next corner. So it couldn't be a more radical departure, and yet it calls to me. So already this week, I've strolled the charming cobblestone streets of colonial Antigua. I've marveled at Mayan ruins and visited the shrine to an indigenous god. I've sat on the shore of Lake Atitlan watching the volcanoes rise up out of the clear blue waters. As we're often reminded during this trip, all travel is mindful. You're plucked out of your everyday surroundings, and so you pay close attention in the present moment. All week long, our teacher Lynn guides us in cultivating this attention, from focusing in on a tiny raisin to greeting the massive volcano at sunrise. We practice mindfulness sitting and standing and walking. We eat mindfully, savoring the explosion of taste and texture in each delicious morsel of fresh local food. Everything about Guatemala is a feast for the senses. The flowers, the music, the textiles, the architecture, the faces of the people. And now, on this last day, we are gathered in chairs set in a circle under the overhang of trees. I'm practicing this new mantra. May I be safe. May I be strong. May I be happy. May I live with ease. The meditation draws me deeper and deeper inside to the center of my being. And in that deep, deep place, I feel a profound shift. I feel truly at ease, weightless and free. I feel like I'm letting go of the weight of suffering that bound me to the darkest, most fearful part of my family story. And I realize that this just might be one of the best days of my life. After lunch, we separate to spend our time mindfully however the Spirit moves us. Our only instruction is to continue our silence with one another. The afternoon is cloudless and beautiful. The lake shimmers with the reflection of the volcanoes. The warm, gentle breeze carries aromas of plantains and hibiscus. Walking the grounds, I turn the corner into a courtyard garden lush and alive with color, and there I come face to face with a huge, gorgeous macaw. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Its plumage is a riot of dayglow, scarlet and yellow and turquoise. It has an exquisite curved beak and a tail that goes on forever. And it's not in a cage. It's sitting peacefully on the ground next to my travel mate Kim, gazing up at her with an expression that looks like love. All my senses are wide open. I am powerfully drawn to this exotic, beautiful creature. Walking slowly and mindfully, I approach and stop a short distance away watching. The macaw looks up at me and steps toward me. I am totally feeling the love. It leans its scarlet head in my direction, and as I'm imagining being welcomed into this circle of peace, the macaw bites down hard on my leg. I am fully mindful in the present moment of a single thought. What the fuck? My leg is throbbing, but not nearly as wildly as my heart. I'm thinking, I should get out of here, but I don't know if running will provoke the bird. Actually, I have absolutely no idea what to do, and I'm not supposed to talk. I'm a million miles from home, and I am on my own. So I invoke my lifetime of training. Try to blend in. Don't call attention. Maybe pass for a plant. So I stand very still and I watch my breathing and I wait for my heart rate to slow down. The macaw leans back and I'm thinking, oh good, it's working. And then the damn bird bites me again. Well, that decides that I am out of there. I back away and hot-foot it back toward my room. I look down and I see blood streaming down my leg. I see a hotel worker and I break my silence. I'm bleeding and it's because of that bird. The hotel worker says one word. Dangerous. Seriously, is he channeling my parents? You think it's so safe out there? Don't be ridiculous. So, okay, I take care of the leg. I wash it with soap. I put on disinfectant. I bandage it up. I walk shakily past the garden again. I keep careful distance from that bird. I gaze at the volcanoes rising up out of the lake. I slow my breathing and reopen my senses. I have never felt so alone and unprotected. I have never felt so in awe of the beauty and peace of this moment. The two ideas teeter back and forth. I observe them with mindful curiosity, wondering what balance they will find. Months later, I still think of that day as one of the best days of my life, with trust and joy. When you do that, reality can bite hard. But the gift of that remarkable bird was that its danger was not nearly as strong as the sense of awe and beauty and peace that flowed within me and without me. From time to time, I run my finger over the little bumpy scar from my bite. It reminds me to be careful, not to be too careful. Thanks.